Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie.
And this is how we spent our weekend. Well, we spent a couple quick days in Portland, Oregon recently, and we had an absolute blast. And we've had good luck there with whiskey in the past. But we tried a couple new destinations that we heard all about, and we went and looked at a waterfall.
The waterfall was, I don't know if the highlight is the right word, but
Probably.
It was definitely the highlight.
Yeah, and it was a whole bunch of waterfalls, and we'll show you that at the end of this video. In the meantime, we're going to talk about some of the whiskeys that we picked up and what we think about them, some tasting notes, that sort of thing. And we're going to lead off with a store that we were told about by another store.
Isn't that nice? Inter-store camaraderie.
I think it's nice.
The store we visited is Westmoreland Liquor.
We were sent there because of our local store telling us, quote, they get everything.
And they were right.
They were right, yeah. Huge selection of all types of whiskeys, but more importantly, they have a massive collection of single barrels, all these picks from all these different places. They had a million things for us to try there, and they were super knowledgeable, super nice. It was one of those stores where everybody that comes in is joking around with the people behind the counter, real neighborhood, nice friendly scene. It was actually really nice, and this caught my eye. This is an Oregon 7-year-old single malt whiskey made by Bull Run Distilling in Portland with further aging in Cognac Casks, 13 months in Cognac Casks, in fact, 117.96 proof, hand selected by Westmoreland Liquor. Interesting thing about this bottle, I've been falling for American single malts a lot lately. Julie hates this one.
It's just not my cup of tea.
This is an interesting one because in the store I tried it and I went, no, this is just a butterscotch bomb. Unfortunately, when we got back, there's some wafer notes showing up and some other weirdness. When I drink it by itself, I love it. I tried pairing it with a beer the other night and I hated it. So
maybe that was the problem, is that I didn't actually try it fresh out of the gate.
Yeah, you got to give this one a fair shake. Bull Run doing amazing things, and I keep hearing great things about all their American single malt options. And so I was very excited to get my hands on this one. The price was right. I do recommend it if you just want something very, very strange. But if you're looking for bourbon flavors, this is not the one for you.
So this next bottle is for me. Maybe not just for me, but I feel like when you were there, you were like, she'll want it.
She'll want it, yeah. So we just got back from Ireland. We enjoyed the West Cork line. You know, they blend whiskeys from all over Ireland and put them into these wonderful concoctions. They're kind of like the barrel of Ireland, for instance. But this is a barrel-proof version of West Cork's whiskey, and it's bottled at 124%, which I didn't realize when I picked it up. We haven't gotten into this one yet. Very excited. At some point, you will see it on the channel, but those are the two bottles we picked up. They're just super weird stuff. You know, keep Portland weird. They're keeping their whiskey weird.
I like it. So next up, we finally got to visit a distillery that was one of our favorite bottles last year.
Stone Barn Brandyworks. This was great. We got to meet Sebastian and Andy, the master distiller, and had an unbelievable tasting. Crazy thing is, they're back in this little corner in Portland, in a warehousey area. You'd never know they're even back there, but there were people coming through constantly, tasting things, trying things, and everybody is really impressed with them. What I love about them is they're not really growing. Like, they don't want to.
They don't want to.
They've got what they've got, and they make really interesting things. They're not concerned with what else is going on out there. They make what they want to make. So they started as a brandy works and started getting into other things. And this one here, we tried a lot of different whiskeys that day. This is their Bottled and Bond Straight Spelt Whiskey. Sounds weird because it is weird.
It sounds very Portland.
Very Portland, yes, absolutely. They use all local ingredients. In this case, it is Washington grown spelt, and they say it's rich, nutty, and grassy. We found it to be all of those things. Very, very interesting whiskey, and we actually enjoy the earthiness and the sweetness sort of melding together. There's a little bit of a barn flavor going on, and I know that doesn't sound great, but
it is delicious.
It is delicious.
I am a sucker for a farmhouse ale.
Sure.
And I love my Saison, also very farmy.
Absolutely.
And this kind of just fits with that.
Agreed. Some of the other things that we tried there included an oat whiskey, which was remarkable.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
It tasted like you were eating oats. Not just oatmeal cookies. Like, it had a real oatiness to it. Yeah. Very interesting.
Better than any granola bar I've ever had.
Yeah.
And the other thing we tried there was their millet whiskey, which is bottling right now. So if you're in the Portland area, go over there and get your hands on it. That was absolutely amazing. We would have bought it if we could. But this is the company that did the dark roast rye. That was our Oregon rye of the year last year. Of course, they have a new version of that out. Everything is very small batches, single barrels, and absolutely worth your time. So if you're anywhere near the Portland area, go to Stone Barn and check them out. And if you're anywhere in Oregon, you can buy a lot of their products in liquor stores. But there's one other bottle that we scooped up from Stone Barn Brandyworks.
It's Nocino. It's actually a green walnut liqueur, and I cannot wait to try this in a cocktail.
Yeah, it's Christmas in a bottle.
Yeah.
So this is Stone Barn's Nocino. There are other Nocinos out there, so if you want to join us 1 week from today, we will show you how to use Nocino, rye whiskey, and orange bitters to make a delicious holiday cocktail. More on that next week, so we don't need to spend a lot of time on this, but Nocino, very interesting. You probably walked past it a million times at your local store and had no idea what it was or never even bothered to look at it. Now you know, Christmas in a bottle.
I can't wait for next week.
So there you have it. We went to Portland, Oregon, looking for whiskey. We bought spelt whiskey, Irish barrel proof whiskey, an American single malt whiskey aged in cognac, and a green walnut liqueur. Not a bourbon to be found.
Nope.
And next up,
some beautiful fall foliage and a bunch of waterfalls.
Absolutely. It's our favorite trail. It just reopened this last year after a couple years away after a forest fire, and thank goodness it's back. It's absolutely spectacular. This is the Eagle Creek Trail in the Columbia River Gorge, one of our favorite places in the entire world. Enjoy. So that's it for our weekend in Portland. We had a great time. We hope you enjoyed learning a little more about these super weird whiskeys and seeing these beautiful waterfalls from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's like a barn floor, but in the best way.